Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, aka the Big D of Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, with a Big D first. As I am on my next to last day of Spooktacular October. And what do I mean by a first? Well, this is going to be a first vid to ever have a review and ranking together in one. Now, I know some of my friends at Horror Enthusiast 101 have seen these movies and they, told me about the new one. Well, a lot of us. And I just finished watching it today. Now, I watched its two predecessors today. Now, what am I talking about? Well, it's been over 15 years since this ever got released. And, I'm just about to give you something that really was a shock to me. So, here it is. It is my review and ranking of the Firefly Family franchise. Or should I say trilogy is what I really mean. From Rob Zombie. First off, I'm going to start with 2003's House of a Thousand Corpses. Now, I've seen this, but I kind of forgot I didn't see all of it completely because it was on at late night hours on HBO and what have you, so, oh well. But now that I recently watched it on Tubi, I am going to say this was pretty darn shocking and what have you. And this, of course, is Rob Zombie's directorial debut. You know Zombie, the frontman of the band White Zombie, and then in the late 90s he released his solo debut, Hellbilly Deluxe, now, which spawned the hit Dracula and two of its music videos, which were Living Dead Girl and Super Beast, had some, what can I say? The album was influenced by classic horror films, as were the music videos for the latter two. So anyway, that's kind of what I gave Zombie to do this. This, of course, was inspired by such 70s films as The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I reviewed last week, and the original Hills Have Eyes. So yeah. The film was originally produced by Lionsgate, although he had gone to other studios, but they rejected it for certain reasons, and was scared it was going to get an NC-17 rating, but it got an R rating, so that was good. The plot of the film centers on a group of teenagers who are kidnapped and tortured by a psychotic family during Halloween, after traveling across the country to write a book. The film stars Sid Haig, whom we sadly lost last month, along with Bill Moseley, Sherry Moon, before even becoming a zombie, Karen Black, Rainn Wilson, Chris Hardwick, and Dennis Fimple in his final role. Anyway, the film may have gotten dissed by critics, but however, it has gained a cult following and developed into a haunted house attraction by Zombie for Universal Studios. Anyway, the film takes place in 1977, which that's pretty cool, because that was the year Wes Craven's second hit of a flick came out. I consider it second, which was The Hills Have Eyes. Anyway, amateur criminals attempted an armed robbery at a gas station, also a haunted museum, but they are killed by the big guy who owns it, Captain Spaulding. That's Sid Haig's character, and I gotta say, it was pretty darn funny. Along with his assistant, Ravelli. Later on, four youngsters, Denise Willis, Mary Knowles, Bill Hudley, and Jerry Goldsmith. Yeah, that's named after one of my absolute favorite movie score composers. because there was a composer named Jerry Goldsmith who did the music for lots of great movies, especially some scary movies, most notably the Omen franchise, which was really cool. Anyway, they meet Spaulding, who is also the owner of what was with the gas station, the Museum of Monsters and Madmen. They learn of the local legend of Dr. Satan. As they take off in search of the tree from which he was hanged from, they pick up a young free-spirited hitchhiker. Yes, just like what you saw in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, named Baby. Baby Firefly, that is. That's Miss Moon, now Sherry Moon Zombie's character, who is an absolute wild and crazy psychotic chick who claims to live only a few miles after. Shortly, their tire burst in what was later seen to be a trap. So Baby takes Bill to her family's house, and then Rufus, her half-brother, picks up the stranded passengers and takes them to the family home. Once there, they meet her family, starting with her adopted brother, Otis Driftwood, that's Bill Moseley, her deformed giant half-brother, Tiny, Grandpa Hugo, and Mother Firefly. Anyway, Mother explains that her ex-husband Earl had tried to burn Big Tiny alive, and soon after that, after hearing all such weird stories, the teens start to leave but try to get away, but they soon get caught one by one. And one of them's dad actually calls the police to report this one missing. Now, two deputies find the teen's abandoned car filled with a dead, mutilated cheerleader in the trunk. Apparently, Bill, one of them, gets killed by Otis and mutilates his body for art. Oh boy. Yeah. I'm not going to try and give much more of the story away, because if you've not seen this, I'd highly recommend you watch this. But anyway, now, the ending to the movie, I'm going to say, is, well, pretty darn shocking in a way. As we do get to see Dr. Satan in this. And the number of mental patients in the tunnel. Yes. But apparently, things take a turn for the worst when she encounters Captain Spaulding, and then soon Otis appears, but I'm not going to tell how that part goes. You're going to have to see the movie, okay? I don't want to spoil much of anything. Now, what did I think of House of a Thousand Corpses? I'm gonna say it wasn't too bad. It's not factually bad. It's fun in some ways. Now, I know some didn't like it. I know Mike from True Horror Fanatic said it. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I really don't want to say, because I really don't want to try to embarrass him in any ways. Okay. Anyway, I really did like House of a Thousand Corpses for certain reasons. The cast was pretty good. I mean, I like Karen Black's performance as Mother Firefly, and I gotta say, everyone else was pretty good in this. So I would say give it a try. But it's short though. It's less than an hour and a half. Well, just miss it by 2 minutes. But overall, I think House of a Thousand Corpses isn't too bad of a movie. It did have some pretty fun moments and some cool music too, including kind of a pumped up version of the Commodore's Brick House, which Rob Zombie did with Lionel Richie, who actually didn't sing on the original version with the Commodores since he was with them, and rapper gal Trina. Yeah. Okay, now we go on to the next one. It's sequel 2005's The Devil's Rejects, which I watched on Tubi yesterday. And I gotta say, this kind of got some factually decent response. It was a minor commercial success, and like its predecessor, it gained a cult following. It was received mixed but more positive reviews over its predecessor. Now, this would feature the final film feature actor Matthew McGrory before his death the same year. Yeah. Let me see now. Which he, of course, played Tiny in the. Anyway, most of the cast is actually back. Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, Bill Moseley as Otis, Sherry Moon, now Zombie, as Baby, whose real name's Vera Ellen Firefly. Of course, Baby's the nickname. Now then, let me try and do some stuff. Anyway, okay. Now, this takes place 7 months after the events of House of a Thousand Corpses. A sheriff named John Quincy Whitell, who is played by William Forsythe, who would later go on to play Michael Myers' abusive stepfather in Rob Zombie's Halloween a couple years after this. Well, and a large posse of state troopers issue a search and destroy mission on the Firefly family. Excuse me. I keep getting WNL almost messed up sometimes. I apologize. Sorry, not that I'm trying to. Never you mind. Back to what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try not to spoil much of all this. Just give a little bit of the story. Well, they arm themselves and fire on the officers, but Rufus is killed and Mother Firefly is taken into custody, while Otis and Baby escape. They steal a car, and after killing the driver, they go to Kahiki Palms, a rundown motel. And then they soon take a band called Banjo and Sullivan hostage in their room. Noah shoots the roadie when he returns. And Baby's actual father, who happens to be Captain Spaulding, decides to rendezvous with him. But when his truck runs out of gas, he frightens a child and assaults the boy's mother before stealing her car. And boy, things take a turn for the worse for these hostages and what have you. I mean, Otis and Baby eventually get into some real gory, real fun until Captain Spaulding shows up. and all three leave together in the band's van. As well, once Otis returns after going with two of the prisoners to where they take him to a place where he buried weapons. Then soon, the motel maid comes to clean the room and discovers the mercy as she enters the bathroom where she sees the devil's reject written on the wall in blood. Yes. So apparently, the Fireflies managed to try and make a getaway to another town. Now, something does happen later on in some scenes, but I'm not going to spoil much of anything, but the story's actually pretty good, just like House of a Thousand Corpses is. Now, the ending to the movie, I think, was pretty darn shocking. Because they get into a final confrontation with Sheriff Wydell and his men, and soon all three, Otis, Baby, and Spaulding escape in Charlie's 1972 Cadillac Eldorado. Yes, Charlie was an associate of Spaulding's, and he offers him the Firefly shelter at his own brothel. So anyway, but once they soon find there's a police barricade ahead of them, as we are hearing Freebird, a great classic from good old Leonard Skinner, playing. Well, realize they won't make it out alive. Otis wakes Baby and Swallow and hands them each a gun. They speed toward the barricade with guns blazing. But I'm not telling you how that will happen, though, okay? Now then, did I like The Devil's Reject? Hell yeah, this turned out to be even better than House of a Thousand Corpses. I'd say definitely give the dice a roll and give this a shot. Anyway, I think the cast was great. I have to say, we got real good performances and some pretty fun lines too, and also a lot of great music from the 70s, which that was absolutely cool. Okay, now then, time for the brand new one that just now came out on DVD just a couple of weeks back. But it had a 3-night special theatrical engagement by Phantom Events last month. Here it is, my review on 3 from Hell. Well, this had been a long gap since Devil's Rejects came out. Like its predecessor, the film received mixed reviews from critics, but was praised by the audiences, though. It would also be Sid Haig's final film, but he's only in the movie for about maybe 5 or 6 minutes tops. Haig passed away right after this film was, after the film was released, as one of his lungs collapsed on him. I was really sorry to hear about that, because I remember Haig from TV shows as well as even Saturday morning shows, which I reviewed one of them, Jason of Star Command. But anyway, we still got some pretty good ones. Let's see. Now, joining the cast is Richard Brake as Winslow Foxworthy Coltrane. Most people call him the Midnight Wolfman, and is also half brother to Otis. We also have appearances by Danny Trejo, who also made a little bit of an appearance in Devil's Rejects. Dee Wallace, who, of course, we know her from lots of movies like E.T., Cujo, Critters, and, of course, Rob Zombie's Halloween. We have lots of others, as a matter of fact. So many. Okay. Now, we see several news reports as the film opens, covering the events of the prior film. It seems that the three surviving Firefly family members, Baby, Otis, and Captain Spaulding, survived their shootout with the police, and that they will be tried for their crimes. But soon it results in this organization of protest that insists the trio's innocence. Numerous fanatics also adapt to the chant, "Free the Three," claiming that their crimes were committed as a means to fight against the system. Despite this, all three are found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. In addition to the final verdict, Spaulding is executed via lethal injection. Otis' half-brother, Winslow Coltrane, shows up to help Otis escape from prison, while he is outside doing work on a chain gang. Now, once more, I'm not going to try not to give any spoilers. I'll try not to spoil much of everything, okay? Once they're free, once Otis is free, he and Foxy plan to free Baby, but this was going to be a tough one. They kidnap the family and friends of the prison's warden, but they demand that one help Baby sneak out of prison without murder everyone they hold hostage. So apparently, Baby is just 3 times more wilder and crazier than you can ever imagine, folks. Yeah. I'm serious now. I think Sherry Moon Zombie did an even more good performance. Don't get me wrong, I liked her performance in Devil's Reject, but I liked it though. Anyway, they managed to get free and decided to go to Mexico to try and flee. And they end up in a small town in Mexico that's celebrating the Day of the Dead. And well, they end up getting to all sorts of things. Now, one cool scene is that Baby puts on some music and it turns out to be the classic Inagata da Vida by the band Iron Butterfly. I was a big hit in the late 60s. I remember that song. I love it. Even though it's been some time since I last heard, but I absolutely love the song. I'd much rather hear it in its original album format, which is like almost 17 minutes. But I absolutely love it. It's a masterpiece. Sorry, everyone, but soon things take a real turn for the worst when a group known as the Black Satans show up with 3 coffins and are ready to take them out. Now, this part's going to be the ending, but I'll try not to spoil much. They managed to try and get them, especially Baby, once she got from the first hostage house, a Indian headdress, which that was pretty fun, and takes a bow and arrow, and boy, she is proven to be stealthy on those guys. And so, always takes out the leader, and, well, one of the guys named me in Mexico, who's just about to die, gets the others free, and they take him out, but again, I'm really not going to tell you how that goes. Again, you're going to have to see the movie, okay? Now then, I know a lot of people well, maybe not a whole lot of people, but my friends from, um, well, have big reviews, including the Drew from Hazen at Devon Graham and Christian Hannah from Christian Hannah Horror, and Alex Fair from The Horror Guy, who happens to be celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Alex, who I'm actually now subbing to. Actually did a live stream of this. I decided to chat with him, and he told me to watch this, and that's what I did. And well, Colton from Heartbreaker asked me if I was ready for this, but I didn't know about this one until I checked out the trailer, and I thought maybe if I watched its two predecessors, maybe I'll make an exception, and that's what I did. Long last, I didn't think it was ever going to get C3 from Hell because I failed to find it at one of the red boxes until just today. So I am very relieved I got to see it and finally do this whopper of a video. Would I recommend 3 from Hell? Hell yeah! This movie's pretty good in ways. Now, for all 3 movies, I thought the cast was absolutely great. I love the performances we got from lots of the actors. Well, lots of the cast. Most notably, Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, and Bill Moseley as Otis, and of course Sherry Moon Zombie as Baby Firefly. Well, all other cast members are pretty good too. I highly recommend you check out the Firefly Family Trilogy. It is really a blast. It has some funny moments, but it does have a positive feel to old school horror of the 70s, and I gotta give Rob Zombie credit for that. And that's going to do it for my reviews, but hey, we're not finished yet. Now it's time to do a ranking of the 3 movies. So how will this go? Let us find out, shall we? Okay. The third one I pick would be House of a Thousand Corpses. Short, but overall, I think that was pretty much fun. I mean, I liked Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding. It was pretty darn funny and stuff. I liked Mama Firefly and Baby's first appearance, which was just so funny and what have you. It wasn't too bad, and I liked the brick house cover Rob Zombie did. Excuse me, everyone. But the story wasn't too bad, but the cast wasn't too bad, but this movie's good in some ways. Number 2 would be 3 from Hell. Now, don't get me wrong, I liked how this movie went. I really did like the performances we got from the cast. And the story went well. Some music was pretty good, like Inagata Davida, and, well, everyone was absolutely good. The final battle with the Black Satans was pretty darn brutal, but it was fun though. Number 1 would be The Devil's Rejects. Now, I think I've come to like this one because it had lots more good old 70s music in it, like Freebird and lots of others. So I give this movie my thumbs up. Yeah, the seeing how the story goes, and that, well, taking refuge in an old hotel. Well, whatever you'd call it, a hotel or motel. I'd say it's a motel, not a hotel. But almost kind of reminds me of Psycho almost. But anyways, I'm gonna say the movie was pretty fun in ways. I love the performances we got from, well, Bill Moseley, Sid Hagen, Sherry Moon Zombie. So I gotta give Devil's Rejects the top spot in the Firefly Family Trilogy ranking. Alright, now what did you think of these 3 movies? Tell me what's your favorite movie in the Firefly Family Trilogy is in the comments section. Like and subscribe to my channel, and tell me how you'd rank the 3 movies. Let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Join me tomorrow when I do for my final 3 vids of my Spooktacular October. Since I didn't do an announcement vid, here's what I'll be doing tomorrow for Halloween. I'm actually going to take the day off from work to work on these. And of course, I'll do my Thrill Me Thursdays contribution for Drew on from Hey Isn't That the Von Graham. Next up, I will do a ranking of the Halloween franchise, which will be a brand new revised version. If you haven't seen the original, you don't have to, because this was an old video. So I'm going to do a brand new revised one. And then, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that first, but later on, I will review the cult classic Trick or Treat from 2007. Thank you again for watching this. This is a pretty long video I've done so far. I'm the Big D, and now I say, see ya!